Here we are, welcome back to the channel, and this is round 4 of the CTC Cup where P1RX take on TCR. You see in qualifying, Kevin qualified in P1, we managed to qualify in second place, followed by Jake. Hodgson in P4, followed by Valkyrie, Tyre in P6, Archivert in 7 and Fischl in P8. Edlitz in P9, followed by Shelty, Ramir in 11th and Sonic in P12. So we've got 42 laps around the high-speed ring reverse. The wet race, mixed conditions, and the 5 laps go out. We get an absolute rocket start from P2, but the right side of the grid had a lot more grip than the left-hand side. We found that out in practice. As you can see, Hodgson coming from P4 into second place. So following through, Kevin down from pole into third place at the minute. So we've got mixed conditions, racing soft tyres are mandatory as well, so that will have to be used at some part during this race. As you can see, always tricky coming out of the tunnel for the first time, full tank of fuel. But we're racing on the wet lines, trying to get the maximum grip around this corner. You can see it's a little bit sketchy. Got traction control on just on one, just to help us out at the start of the race. The car we're running is a Toyota TS050 hybrid. So a quick car, plenty of downforce, and a nice car to drive, especially in these conditions when it is so tricky. As we look behind, you can see Kevin now attacking Hodgson for that second place again. So side by side, come to this corner. I think we're going to nickname this corner Killer Corner. Absolute nightmare to get right. I mean, that high line is the line to take, but so tricky not to scrape the wall. See Hodgson now not having that. He's coming back at Kevin to take that second place. Again, into the rain falling down. So we've got to try and make these intermediates last as long as we can. As we're going board with Siegel, just behind, looking to go 3 wide into that first corner. This is not going to run well. Siegel trying to brave it around the outside. I think it's a little clip from behind, maybe a little slip of the barrier. What a save sideways around the first corner, but into P2. Kevin following through, and Hodgson being the biggest loser in that corner. Down and now into P7. Go on to lap 3. We've got Hodgson again there next to Italia. You can see he goes deep in the corner, and once you're in that barrier, it's so difficult to get back out of there. So Italia now down into P8. Hodgson and Shelty and Sonic making some places up there. So Italia not having a great turn 1, but to add insult to injuries, we're coming through the S's on that third lap. Puts his foot down a little bit too much and goes for a nice pirouette into the barrier, just to show you how tricky these conditions are. So easy to lose control of the car. So Italia now having to make a comeback if he can. So on to lap 5, we've got Valkyrie now behind Hodgson, going side by side across the finish line. Valkyrie up into P4 at the minute, but can he hold it going to turn 1? Just about. You can see taking that high line again. Hodgson ends up in that barrier, and like I said, once you're in there, really difficult to get out. We've all been there, so very challenging conditions. You see lap 13 now, got Hodgson again with Archivert, aka Chris, right behind him. So Hodgson involved in a lot of action at the beginning of this race. Lap 13, you can see his tyres looking a bit worse for wear, so he comes into the pits. You've got Valkyrie coming in, Italia, Sonic, a few people now coming to the pits as well with Jake. So this is where the strategy comes into play. The track is drying out quickly, so is it mediums, is it softs? But Hodgson comes out on a set of mediums. Now he's got to make these last around about till lap 32. So difficult to do that as you've got a dry line as well. So these are the worst conditions for me, these mixed conditions. There's lap 14. The tyre's not looking too bad, but we're not going to risk anymore. I think it's a crossover now to a slick tyre. So we're coming to the pits. Hold on to that lead with Kevin just behind. Kevin now pits on his intermediates as well. We're going to go for a different strategy now. We decided to go for medium tyres, and you can see the difference with the fuel that we're putting in. Kevin now only fueling enough for soft tyres. We're going to last around 10-11 laps, I think. So we refuel full tank to get the most out of these mediums. So we come out behind Kevin, and there goes Valkyrie. He pitted a lap before on those soft tyres. We can see the wet line just above. You hit that wet line, you are absolute toast. So these are the worst conditions. Stay off the curbs with slick tyres, let the tyres warm up a little bit. Try and maintain tyre wear is key. So Valkyrie now running on those racing soft tyres, and Kevin just in front on those soft tyres as well. The 3 guys in front having to pit. They're still on those inters, but they'll be running a little bit slower. You have to take this lower line into these corners. So So on lap 15 now, 3 guys in front pits, and we're going to get 3rd place back with Valkyrie and Kevin in P1 and P2. We've got Jake as well, just behind us, right on our tail. Before we go any further, guys, if you do like this content, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate your support. As we get back to the action, we've gone board with the leader. Kevin comes to this killer corner. That one dry line, you can see a little bit too early. He hits that curb, and that's all it takes. Kevin with damage now to the front and the back. So you can see we come at that corner. There's Kevin. So 2nd place, we get back with Valkyrie now just in front. But that wasn't any action at that corner. So you can see that same lap as you got Jake just behind us. And instead of hitting the curb, Jake goes a little bit wide entry, and that's game over as well. So that corner, absolute murder. And for Jake, it gets even worse, because once you spin on that corner, you can never get out of it. Look at the wheel spin, you get stuck. So absolute nightmare there for Jake. As we go on board with Archiverts, coming around this corner, blind, and I get that 126 miles an hour, millimeters away from killing his teammate. Just about avoiding him. Scrapes the barrier on the outside, just for good measure, but gets away with damage. So heart in the mouth there for Chris. As we go on to lap 21, he's now in a 3-car battle for this 8th place, 7th place. We've got Shelty and we've got Ikoa all involved in this battle as well. So Chris trying to get that P7 as Ikoa goes defensive. Shelty looking to pounce on any mistakes, but Chris braving around the outside, remembering that wet line is on the outside, so if he goes, and that is in the barrier. So great move there and great driving all around from both drivers. Chris now into P7, but he comes into killer corner. He's a little bit deep, hitting to the wet stuff and in the barrier, and just gets in Ikoa's way inadvertently. But that gives Shelty now and Ikoa a run on Chris. Shelty going wide, Ikoa now in the slip, and they're going to claim that place back. So all that hard work done by Chris now into P9, so back and forth all the time. On lap 23, we go on board, come around the corner, and just in front of us we've got Valkyrie's at an off. So again, going onto that wet line, that's all it takes for slick tyres. Just about getting back on track safely. Just about make it round the outside of Valkyrie. So we get P1 back, and we're on these medium tyres. Remember, Valkyrie is on these softs, has to pit again. Try and stay into that dry line. So a couple laps later, Valkyrie having to pit that tyre, not looking the best on the front left. Takes a real pounding around the high-speed ring in reverse. You can see you got Talia and Kevin up pitting at the same time as well. Have a look at Talia. So he comes out now in P11. You've got Valkyrie, Talia and Kevin in P10, 11 and 12 at the minute. But again, everyone else has got to make that extra stop as well. So this will all unfold a bit later on in the race. You see lap 27 now, we've got a nice gap to Hodgson. It's running about 13-14 seconds. Now we're going to run to lap 33. The soft tyres can do about 10 laps, but just to be on the safe side, we don't want to risk anything. We're going to do 9 laps on these softs. That's what we're aiming for. So we've got to stretch these mediums out as long as we can. We should be okay. Still a few damp parts left on the track to cool the tyres down. Lap 28, you've got Chris and Shelty on side by side. 2 different lines for that corner. Shelty going in tight. Chris trying to go for the high line. Gives him a slightly better run, I think, and nice slipstream. So on to lap 29. Chris just holding on to P3 as they come into that first corner. Yes, just holding on to it. So now Chris into a podium position, but does have to pit again. So on board with Jake. You can see we've got Redacted just in front. It's a bit of lag there, but Redacted just about manages to get him. So Jake now on a comeback from P11 up into P6. You can see Redacted there, just letting him go. Jake taking the high line. So Jake now into P5 after that spin. But lap 33, this is when we need to pit. You can see the front left, we managed to hold on quite nicely. So we're going to do 9 laps on the soft tyres. We're coming to the pits. Got on a fresh set of soft tyres. And I'm going to refuel till the end as well, so no dramas. As we come out the pits, we've got Chris pitting behind us as well. Let's come out the pits. Remember not to cross that line, otherwise you'll get a 3-second penalty. Then we've got Jake just behind us. When you look at the difference in the run, we come out the pits and Jake's flat out gaining and gaining and gaining. Just reached the braking zone just before we get to these S-bends. But Obviously, as this is a team event, there'll be no silly dive bombs or silly moves. It's also about the team, so as long as we win as a team, that's the main thing. So on lap 38, we're on board with Sonic, and this has happened to all of us. He comes and accelerates a bit too early and whacks that barrier on the exit. We've all been there, absolute nightmare, but engine damage, front damage, car is absolutely killed. We're coming on to the last lap. We're on board with Hodgson. That tyre is absolutely dead. We've got no tread on that whatsoever, with Jake just behind him. Coming to this first flat out corner as he turns, absolutely no grip, and you can see on board with Jake. His tyres are a few laps fresher. Then just take that place in P6 on the final lap of the race, and has also set the fastest lap of the race too. But that's it, as we come across the line to take the victory. So I started second, managed to get first by the first corner, and managed to hold on by a decent gap in the end by Val Caruso, 12 seconds to P2, Talia in P3, followed by Kevin, Chris in P5, and Jake in P6. So it's Project 1 Racing top 6, the Hodgson in 7th, followed by TCR Shelty, Arimes in 9th, followed by Redacted, Ikoa in 11th, and Sonic in P12. So what an entertaining race. After those mixed conditions made it a really tricky race, but managed to come out on top. And congrats to Project 1 Racing and TCR too. So for now guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Laters.